Do you want to know how to make a vegan caldo de pollo, also known as Mexico's chicken soup? Well, today I want to share with you how to make this recipe completely plant-based, but with all of the flavor of our Mexican cuisine. The ingredients are half of a yellow onion, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1.5 tablespoons of liquid aminos, 1.5 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, half a teaspoon of onion powder, 3 garlic cloves, some sea salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 2.5 grams of fresh thyme, 4 tablespoons of avocado oil, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 bay leaf, 2.5 grams of fresh oregano, and 300 grams of king trumpet mushrooms. To prep the mushrooms, simply use a fork and begin to shred it, then finish it with your hands. This recipe is another one of those dishes that represents the rural cuisine of Mexico. It's not something that you would find in a restaurant because traditionally it was something that families just put together with the ingredients that they found in their home. Therefore, it will vary from family to family, but the main ingredients that always remain are the chicken, the onion, fresh herbs, and garlic. Start by adding your avocado oil, the mushrooms, and spices, and browning them to get a meaty flavor. To be honest, this was one of the most difficult recipes that I had to create because the original recipe heavily relies on the chicken, or gallina, for the main flavor of the dish, which is why I highly recommend that you use some fresh, high-quality ingredients to really take your time and brown out the mushrooms so that you can really bring out the beautiful flavors. The browning of the mushrooms should take about 10 minutes. At first, they will release all of the water and then they will begin to brown. Once all of the water has evaporated, stir your mushrooms and continue to brown them for about another 5 minutes. The mushrooms play an important part in this recipe, not just because they mimic a shredded chicken, but because they contain a natural umami, which will really bring out a meaty flavor. I wanted to give you the most basic form of this recipe, very similar to how I grew up eating it in Mexico. This is a good point to taste for salt. I'm adding 1 more teaspoon, but feel free to add as much or as little as you prefer. Let everything cook down for about 20 minutes. And to serve it, I will be using the most commonly used garnishes for this dish, that of fresh cilantro, fresh onion, and some slices of chiles. I hope that you try out this recipe. And to make it a full meal, I recommend that you serve it with a side of Mexican rice. And if you don't know how to make that yet, I'll make sure to leave the recipe here. Buen provecho.